This One Up podcast is brought to you by the Doritos Presents Unlock Xbox contest. 5 finalists remain. Now we need to pick the winner. Visit snackstrongproductions.com before November 18th to play their games and vote for your favorite.
All right, here you go, fellas. The weekend starts right now. It's the One Up Yours show for Friday, November the 2nd. I'm Garnet Lee, and you have got a show that is just going to be...
It's going to explode in your face.
It's going to be legendary.
You won't fall asleep. You won't fall asleep during this one.
You definitely won't fall asleep during this one. I've never fallen asleep during a show.
Yeah, right.
When have I fallen asleep during a show? Wait a minute. It doesn't matter. You're not going to fall asleep during this one because it's me, it's Shane, but the other two seats are Mr. Crispin Boyer.
Woo! Hello.
Oh, my God, it's Crispin Boyer.
And the one, the only, Sean Baby.
Sorry, Sean Baby.
Oh.
Star of stage and screen.
Stage, screen, camera.
Mexican radio. And Mexican radio.
YouTube.
He's on a Mexican radio.
You actually did go to the Mexican You went to Mexican E3 and you were a big hit. I remember that.
Me and Jenny are superstars across the border. They're like, you're very famous in Mexico. I'm like, oh, that's very nice of you to say. But we really were. We were signing magazines
Mexican
and
E3?
shirts.
Mexican E3 is kind of like E3.
No, I mean, when was it? When and what was it? There was actually a Mexican
There
E3?
was. It was like 2-3 years ago, and we sent Sean and Jen, and they were huge stars in the Lucha Libre world or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We did a little wrestling match on the TV. I almost killed this little, they called him mayonesa, which is Spanish for mayonnaise, because he was like so pale. And he comes up and he's kind of like, hey, we'll have like a little wrestling match, because they had a wrestling ring like in their booth, the EGM Mexico booth.
Right.
And so I'm
Of
like,
course.
okay, sure. So I try to tell him, like, I did a little pro wrestling up in Portland, Oregon. And so I'm like, have a few skills. I cannot kill this guy if he just listens to me, right? So I'm like, okay, what do I do? I'm going to pick you up for a scoop slam. I'm going to throw you down. Be very careful not to move. I'm going to drop a Hulk Hogan leg drop on your head. You won't even feel it unless you move.
In which case, you might die.
This dude, it seemed like his English was good. It seemed like he understood me. So I body slam him. Boom! I jump up for the leg drop. He rolls directly under my giant Nordic ass. Rush! Fucking, he was so dizzy for like an hour, but he's still trying to like play it all cool, like, oh, that was good, that was good. Motherfucker's just like concussion.
You had to go right to the embassy.
You were never invited back to Mexican E3.
I wasn't actually.
International incident.
His
claimed he had a good time.
Mexican visitation privileges revoked. Pulled. Anyway, so here's what we're doing in the show today. Normal show. We got what you've been playing in the first segment. In the second segment, I got a couple of message board threads, and because we have Crispin and Sean Baby here, we're going to talk to them about
Darfur.
why the hell they cover bad games.
Oh, I thought we were here for the stage and screen.
For the stage and screen, right. There'll be a very highbrow discussion of our games in art form.
Oh, yes, that's what I'm here for.
And the answer, yes or no?
I don't know. It's hard to answer that question because
fart noises.
Because
Good answer, Sean, baby.
Thanks. I was gonna say because my mouth tastes so much ball when I think about it.
Because you're thinking about Phil Collins.
That's it too. Yes.
But he's not gay.
Who?
I know, but he sucks. You see, like, he sucks so much that eventually he's going to get some ball in there.
I actually, my respect for Phil Collins raised exponentially earlier this year while watching the Live Earth broadcast. You know that Al
horrible
Gore,
flop.
What?
Al Gore had these concerts all over, and Genesis played.
Right.
And Phil Collins inserted the word fuck into Sussudio and Invisible Touch like 10 times. And he upset the FCC. He upset the organizers. I was watching it.
Well,
He was
that's
like,
thrilling.
He's like,
So
you got the fucking Invisible Touch. Like, seriously.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. I was like, Phil Collins, you're a bad man.
To get your props.
Fuck.
Exactly.
Whoa.
To get your props.
Yes.
Take crappy, cheesy rock song, insert fuck, and it
Invisible Touch-
becomes good.
Invisible Touch is not a crappy song.
Oh, are you kidding me? Have to have an invisible touch. Oh, come on, dude. That song is
Anyway.
garbage.
She reaches in and puts her balls in my mouth.
Exactly. That would be better lyrics.
I think he sang that.
Already better lyrics.
So what have you been playing?
Have you heard my favorite Phil Collins joke?
No.
Okay. Ask me what Sussudio even means.
What does
are you
Sussudio
so-
even
wait,
mean,
That's
Phil?
what a regular song sounds like with a dick in your mouth.
Oh. You know, actually,
I don't think
Yes,
he's gay.
and it counts.
actually, what the reason it's called Sussudio is one of his band members couldn't say studio
Oh.
and had a bad
that's sad.
stutter,
So it's
so
a
they made
stutterer
fun of
thing.
him.
That's
And, yeah,
brilliant.
That's a
So it mocks the handicap?
yeah.
Oh, now I feel better about saying he has a dick in his mouth.
That's even better, Phil.
That joke goes out to all the handicapped people out there who get oppressed by Phil Collins.
Phil Collins has done one thing well in his life, and that's play drums.
All right.
He's a good drummer. He was on Robert Plant's first solo album as the drummer. Yes, and he kicked much ass playing drums on there.
Man, between the two of you guys, you know so much about Phil Collins.
I know, it's kind of sad, disturbing.
Wow.
We should write an unauthorized biography.
No, I think that would be pretty boring. I think that would be
Sean
pretty boring.
Baby and Phil Collins.
That would be much more
My
interesting.
favorite drummer is Animal.
Animal. Absolutely, from the fuck yeah.
Did you know
Muppets.
there's that chick in the band, in the Muppet
With
Band,
no eyes?
that looks exactly like New York from I Love New York?
Wait, the girl with no
Go-
eyes?
Yeah, with like the hair coming down in her
She
face.
has no eyes.
Look at a picture of her next to New York.
New York doesn't have eyes either.
And New York's mom looks like Joey Ramone fucked a gorilla.
Yes. Are you watching I Love New York too?
My head's-
Brilliant. It's the most
Yeah.
it's the most
I know
fantastic
this
television
is a little
show.
bit of a departure, but my money's on It. He's my favorite.
For what now?
I Love New York Part 2.
Dude, that show is amazing.
I'm more excited about Flavor of Love 3 starting in January.
They have this giant black man. He looks like an American gladiator, and this little snivelly bitch. And he kept like being a dick. And this guy wanted to kill him so bad. So as soon as he had an excuse, he threw orange juice in his face. He like picked him up by his neck, and the dude actually yelps. And they subtitled it "Yelp." The guy took the most serious
Yelp.
national televised ass kicking.
How do you watch
that
Flavor of Love, dude? That shit is not watchable.
I love that show.
Just make sure you sanitize yourself afterwards.
Oh, all right. Anyway, since you asked,
I did catch syphilis from seeing it.
Did you? Yeah, you could. You could definitely pick that up through the television. That
the
shows like
retina.
should come with a penicillin
Have you caught
shot.
any STDs from the games you've been playing this week?
Not really. I mean, I started off first
You
of all.
sound disappointed. You're like, I tried to get
I know.
I tried to get chlamydia from Drake and Josh, but
Yeah.
The problem is I only have like a few games, and none of them have been actually very exciting. Like Battalion Wars for Wii, everyone was hyped for that, right?
it has online play, right? It's like one of the only Wii games with that you can play online. No? Yes? Wake up.
It's boring. It's boring. It's such a boring game.
You like real-time strategy?
It's a boring game. Look, they once upon a time that was supposed to be a game that had Advance Wars style to it, right?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, and it's totally
The new
lost
Advance
that.
Wars looks really cool.
The new Advance Wars does look
I'll play
really
the hell
cool,
out of that.
and I will play the fuck out of that. But this is just so stupid. It doesn't have interesting characters. It doesn't take advantage of what could have been the Advance Wars angle. So then you just have like this kind of cute, cartoony, run around, third person sort of tactical action game. It's real stock standard. It's real stock standard.
Well, when they didn't send it to us for review, that's kind of a sign, because usually that's kind of a vote of no confidence.
It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. It's not
just
bad.
standard average.
It's just stock. Like, so you get to run around with the guy. Oh, and everything is rock, paper, scissors. So if you get attacked by airplanes, you better have an anti-aircraft guy. If you get attacked by a tank, you better have a bazooka guy.
Well, it's kind of like my first RTS in a way, probably.
It's more like my first action tactical game, because all you do, you use the so in this case now you have the Wiimote, you have the D-pad. You use the D-pad to pick your units, and you can tell them to attack something or to follow you.
Oh, so it's more like squad-based, like Graw.
Yeah.
It's like Graw for babies.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have a super amount of tactical, because you have to be able to see where because you're running around in like a third-person action game the whole time and shooting shit, right? And then you get to also fly airplanes, and the airplane controls are terrible.
Man, what a
The boats are cool. The boats are very fun. Battleships, frigates, they have submarines. Submarines are
I
cool.
might still check out this game because I've heard good things about it from other people, so I'm not sure if I trust you.
I'm convinced. I'm not trying it.
It's simple. It's simple. Why would you
canceling
play
your
that?
pre-order.
There's so many other good games to play. Why would you play that? And yet it has online play. So, I mean, it's cool if you want to play. You know what the funny thing about Wii is? If you want to play online with your friends.
Hey, what's your friend code
Exactly.
for that game?
That's the problem.
For that game,
What's your 16 alphanumeric code?
See, the funny thing
For
about
that game.
Wii is if you play Wii online, you more often play with strangers, because it's easy just to click the, like, I just want to play the fucking game, I'm going to play with somebody, than it is to go, what's your code? Or let's type in our codes and da-da-da-da. Fuck all that. It's a mess. It's a mess.
Wow.
I also play Time Shift,
Oh.
which, yeah.
oh, you weren't into Time Shift?
That's
Well,
a game that sounds cool, but
You're shifting time.
yeah.
Yes, you're making things change in
I mean,
relative
or at least
space.
your suit is like your suit does all the work. Basically, it picks the power for you, right?
That's
yeah,
pretty
well,
ingenious.
and you can pick it if you want to.
Gameplay
But yeah, now it.
concept.
But
Do you remember this game years and years ago?
from the Xbox One?
Yes.
Yeah,
And when
I
it
do.
was a disaster.
As opposed to now.
It's not a disaster anymore. It's not a total disaster anymore. They took their work actually paid
realistically,
off.
with the amount of first-person shooters available on the Xbox 360 and
See,
PC
that's-
platforms,
that's-
why would anybody ever play this one?
That's what it runs
Like,
into, right?
Call of Duty, Halo, Half-Life. Oh, Time Shift. I bet that one's the best one here.
You really got a long day to fill if you needed your 16th first-person shooter.
Like, these other shooters don't have enough time.
PlayStation 3, though. PlayStation 3, you might want to play it. I mean, you still have Call of Duty 4, right?
There's Unreal coming up.
There's Unreal coming up. There's Orange Box coming sometime in December or something, right?
But even like, Time Shift versus like Blackside Area 51, which one's better?
Well, that's one of those games that probably grandmas will buy for their kids. I remember I was at a Toys R Us a long time ago as a kid, and I was with my friend. We were in the Transformers aisle, and this grandma was in the aisle with us, and she was looking
hot?
Yes. A regular Rue McClanahan.
Ooh.
She was a gilf.
She was 5 B. Arthurs on the Rue McClanahan scale. But she was looking at the MASH toys. Yes.
Hold on. MASH toys. Was this 1978?
MASH.
This was like the mid-'80s. There was like a bunch of MASH toys.
Always
Should I get these MASH toys?
BJ Honeycutt.
Should I get these Bonanza action figures for my son? I don't know.
And she asked us because there was G.I. Joes in the South too, and she was looking at those, and then she asked us what we thought of the MASH toys. We thought this was the only chance we'll ever get the fuck over a total stranger. So we hooked her up with the Trapper John
hot
MD
lips.
and the medical rescue helicopter.
Nice.
Oh man, this is the hottest toy. I'm surprised they even have any of these hot lips in the.
And there's a picture of this kid like Christmas morning. All right, ripping open the paper. What the fuck?
Colonel Potter. Radar.
Damn it!
Speaking of G.I. Joe,
Grandma, you suck.
Another aside. I know we're all G.I. Joe fans here. Have you heard about what they did to G.I. Joe for the movie?
No.
Apparently, due to the negative, image that the U.S. military has on a global scale, and this is a movie, aimed at a global market. G.I. Joe is now a UN-style global peacekeeping force. They're not great American heroes. They're the UN.
Bullshit.
I'm calling for a boycott.
They still shoot lasers and parachute out of helicopters?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Remains to be seen.
They have like the little pastel blue UN helmet.
They might go for a peaceful, verbal kind of resolution to Cobra Commander.
You settle down, terrorists. Settle down. I'm a peacekeeper.
This is problem solver. Anger management. Come up here with that poetry book. We need you on the front line.
Good sanctions.
Right.
Need the sanctions mobile. Anyway,
so that's the bad games, and the good games are all Guitar Hero and Rock Band. I mean,
you're not a part of our Rock Band band.
I'm the manager of the Rock Band.
Okay, nice.
The one up
Beard Rock.
They're winning. They're beating all the other
good.
teams.
They are awesome. So everyone asks who they are.
And
so first of all, let's tell.
I heard the other
teams
are cheating. You hear about this? Right?
There's some rumors.
No, I heard concrete truth, fact that the IGN and Team Xbox team.
You know what? If they need to
put it out
cheat,
there, and I know the guy who's cheating, Tal,
well,
cheater, fucker.
Apparently, it's not helping them too much.
Oh,
I mean,
Cheat harder.
Cheat harder. Exactly. You're not trying hard enough. Cheat more.
But yeah, those kids are good players. And Nelson,
you got Karen singing. We have Karen from our art department singing. We have Nelson from Game Videos on the drums.
He's a savant,
dude. He is amazing on the drums.
Who knew?
And then we have Klepek playing guitar for us, and Nick. Andrew's reviews intern playing bass for us. So, and interestingly enough, he's playing bass with the old Guitar Hero 2 Explorer guitar, which he likes better.
What a twist of events! a stunning twist of fate. Well, I wish them the best. I think they're going to win it all. What do you win if you win the whole thing?
Prestige, fame, and fortune.
Nice.
The cover of
Rock Band.
Some fake magazine, some fake website.
Maybe
they won.
The cover of Kerrang.
Cover of Rolling Stone at that little kiosk in the mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Very nice.
Anyway, Rock Band is awesome. I've been having a good time playing that because I played with them some and checking it out. But I think that the thing that people are missing on Rock Band is that if you're playing it solo, I'm still curious. I haven't had a chance to play it solo. I think it's going to be weird to play it solo because the game is set up to play with everybody playing.
I've heard it's a little lonely playing solo.
It looks like it'd be lonely because there's lots of places where
the songs kind of suck.
Some of them there's like 7 good songs.
They're kind of up and down. Yeah. There's actually some good ones on there. What do you like? Because we rocked it down at EA. And
not enough poison for Sean Babies.
Not enough poison.
Yeah.
Too much Fall Out Boy.
I would have liked some White Snake.
Less Fall Out Boy.
Less Fall Out Boy.
Dude,
yes.
Fall Out Boy. How the hell does that wind up?
They should have a heterosexual check at the beginning of the game.
Serious.
Are you a heterosexual? And if you click
maybe you have
yes,
2 different versions.
Yeah, you just can't get to the Fall Out Boy. It's an unlockable, and if you unlock it, it says, "Well, now you're gay."
It does have the Boston. It does have the Stone Temple Pilots. The fucking drum solo in the Who song is amazing. I watched Nelson. Even Nelson was having a hard time with that.
Even Nelson.
And Flirtin' with Disaster, the the Tin
He's
Lizzy
using
song.
Donkey Kong bongos to drum with, interestingly enough.
There you go. He is.
Has Wanted Dead or Alive. You like that hit?
I love Wanted Dead or Alive. But
You know what? I've already found the problem with that song is it gets played so goddamn much, you're going to get sick of it real quick.
Really?
Because everyone, it's, oh, look, Wanted Dead or Alive. Let's
I've
play
never
that tune
been to
again.
karaoke where I didn't hear it.
Yeah,
it's
it's
twice.
At least, yeah.
totally run into the ground. And then I've been playing the hell out of Guitar Hero at home since I came out because I love that game. I totally love Guitar Hero. People have been complaining about the way the difficulty ramps up, and it does at the end have like a couple of crazy songs. The Slayer song is just whack.
Rain and Blood? Is that what
Yeah,
it's
it's
got?
fucking
nice.
whack. It is so hard. I was trying to even practice it on hard. My fingers were twisting and.
Dude, it's Slayer.
Did you try the Dragon Force song?
Well, you get to play that. Yeah,
There's
you
a
get to
Dragon
play
Force
it.
song in there?
There's a Dragon Force song.
Do you
and
wear
un-
like a costume when you're playing it?
You have to, yeah.
It comes on during the credits, and there's no fail, so you can just sit there and play at playing it because that's what you do at first. It's just it keeps going and going and going, and oh my god, it's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Both those games are awesome. I don't know why people sit there and argue about it so much. Stop
You
fucking
can't
arguing.
like them both.
Yeah, you can't. Well, apparently, I think they're both.
Well, and
pretty
the president of EA today announced that if you want to buy Rock Band, you better hurry up because they're not going to make enough.
good. Oh, that's brilliant.
He said, expect expect shortages.
You know what?
I hope you like consuming, because it's not going to happen for long. Consumers.
Both those games need to.
That's a good impression of what's his name?
That
sounds like him?
Yeah.
Nice.
This job would be great if it went for the consumers.
Go buy your Rock Band and nobody beats the Wiz.
I'm still worried that what they're going to do is focus on making the next games and not downloadable content. That's what both those games need to do. They both need to focus on having more songs and just keep, sending stuff out.
Yeah, no more new instruments to buy.
I went to Glockenspiel.
We've got instruments, we've got the game. Just freaking make the music. Stop worrying about it.
Get the lead out.
Yeah, definitely. It's on iTunes now,
I know.
so that should be like the
It's
beginning.
a touchy subject. I didn't get a ticket. I thought I'd be one of the 30 million people who applied to get tickets to the Led Zeppelin reunion.
Yeah.
I didn't get one.
No luck.
Oh, well,
I didn't get it.
Oh,
Let's just give him a little immigrant song.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
we didn't get the scream.
I don't want to
Wow.
tip that.
That's pretty good.
Couldn't do it.
That was impressive, Shane.
Thanks.
Very nice.
All right, give us your Mario Love Fest
And go.
and go.
I don't even know where to start.
Oh.
First of all, actually, I do where to start. I need to apologize to Endless Ocean. Remember last week when I talked about that
That's
game?
the game I'm interested in.
Oh, you
That
saw me
game.
playing that
I
game.
did. That was fucking
how would
insane.
How would you explain that game?
Fag meets gay.
Yeah, that was the game where I was petting the. That's the game where I was petting the fish and the penguin. Anyway, I said a lot of kind of negative things about it last week. But then it turns out Nintendo has lowered the price to $29.99.
Oh, well, there you go.
So for
That's a good price for a hand job.
now it's there.
I mean, if you want to pet some fish, normally that costs you $35-40.
Exactly.
I could do it at home for less than that.
So yeah, I want to say
Fishpin's a real bargain hunter when it comes to fish petting.
Still a 2-drink minimum, but you can.
so they lowered the price. If you're into that kind of thing. So anyway,
So reasonable.
back to Mario.
Please.
I resent Mario first off because it's making me love my Wii again. And
What's wrong with loving your Wii?
well, there's nothing else to play on it. I really haven't had any fun with it since Super Paper Mario, and before that, Zelda. But Mario Galaxy is the best game.
I'll be buying it.
Hold on, here comes Shane.
sold.
We need a love song for
Now,
Shane.
you can hear Jeremy
and his
Paris
Mario.
sing a love song to Mario on the One Up Show today. But
Really?
I know.
Seriously?
It's
He really, it's really good.
pretty
actually.
crazy,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, like in short, Mario Galaxy is so much better than Mario Sunshine. I haven't felt this way about a platformer since Super Mario 64, and in a lot of ways, it takes everything that game did and evolves it in new crazy ways. It's constantly surprising you. It's incredibly polished. Every level is full of surprises. From level to level, you never know what you're going to be doing. It's amazingly addictive. Super fun.
So tell us something more than just these great superlatives. You sound like the back of the box.
I almost don't want to spoil it for people because, like,
I buy it.
yeah, like it is a instant must buy, must play. And like Ratchet and Clank, all the hoopla over 8.5, 7.5. Yeah, I like Ratchet and Clank, but playing Mario, it's like, oh yeah, like this.
Oh, come on.
This is how to do a platformer. Sorry, it is.
Mario kicks the shit out of Ratchet
It does.
and Clank.
It does.
Oh, come on.
It does.
I buy
I'm sorry. It does. It just does.
Everybody's just going to agree with that, just straight up.
Well, go play it. Like I
will go
don't
play
take
it.
my word for it.
No, I won't take your word. I will definitely. I mean, of course, I'm going to play Mario.
Yeah.
But I can't see it just kicking the crap out of Ratchet and Clank, dude. I've been playing some Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank is
and Mario
pretty fucking awesome.
It isn't perfect. It has its problems. Like the graphics aren't always great; they're pretty inconsistent, and some of the controls are even a little frustrating. For example, like the fireballs are like shooting fireballs is kind of frustrating.
Okay,
it's motion control. You're like using the Wiimote to like shoot fireballs at people. It's kind of weird. But overall, like even like the little things that aren't so great in the game, the overall package is stunning and shocking. Shocking. I'm shocked by how good it is.
So Mario gave you the shocker.
It did. Over and over again, and continues to.
And you liked it and came back for more.
It's awe-inspiring.
It's a sexy show today.
Wow.
I might need to go. I might need to go
back on.
You know what scares
I might need to
me
take a moment.
Is you got me so psyched for Mario, and you just gave me like the most boring what you've been playing I think I've ever heard from you.
I mean, I could tell you like specifically.
I thought it was pretty real. I felt his enthusiasm.
I mean, it's very real.
Oh,
and
if you could see the look on his face.
I know.
Yeah.
It's great.
I can
that
tell
works
you,
really well
I can tell you
on audio.
specific things like later in the game, but I really don't want to spoil it, and I just think it's a must buy. If you haven't pre-ordered it, go pre-order it. I would almost say it's worth buying a Wii for that and Zelda together, which is ridiculous to say.
What's the most interesting level that you've played out of the game so far?
Is there one with lava and platforms?
Okay, there's a level that is both an ice level and a fire level.
Oh,
at the same
that
time.
combines my two least favorite elements of platformers into one.
Well, yeah, and you think that, and it's almost like a joke, but it is really fun.
Yeah.
Because you become Ice Mario, and when you're Ice Mario,
you melt.
No, when you're Ice Mario, you like make like an ice path like Silver Surfer, or like Iceman, more specifically than Silver Surfer.
Right.
So you make an ice path behind you, and you're like running over lava, and it's hard to explain. Like, you're jumping on enemies, and it's really fun.
And knowing Miyamoto, there's probably, a 45-second animation to switch between Ice Mario and not Ice Mario?
Where he, like, talks a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, some of the more creative stuff is, like, in a specific level, like, there'll be multiple types of gameplay. And I don't want to, like, spoil them all, but just, like, from level to level, in each level, there are, like, 5 types of gameplay. And like most games don't offer
skydiving, skateboarding,
riding a manta ray.
Which one is real of those 3?
Riding a manta ray.
Okay.
You ride a manta ray. I know you would like that.
Yeah.
Can you play Mario with your Wii Guitar Hero controller?
No. Okay. Well, here's something specific. And I'd kind of been down on the
zapper
on the 2-player thing because I thought it seemed tacked on and lame. But I had a friend like be my second player, and they don't control Mario. They just help you collect stuff. They can stun enemies, and they can make.
Wait, so
that sounds.
So are they? They're not controlling anything in the game.
They are controlling.
They can get you a drink.
Yeah,
they're controlling
order a pizza.
Yeah,
they can wait for their fucking turn to play.
Using a second Wiimote, they are just a cursor on screen.
Okay.
Fun.
And with that cursor, they can shoot the candy that you've collected. They can stun enemies, and they can collect shit. And
Okay.
It makes the game a lot more fun because they can also make you jump higher. They can like hit Mario while he's in the air, and then he can like jump higher because of that.
It's like a Mario personal assistant.
It is, but it's pretty ingenious because Mario is a game that is fun to watch, but it's not as fun as to play. But now your little brother, your sister, your girlfriend, whatever, they can really help you and make your experience more fun and make the game more interesting, and they feel like they're playing a game even if they're really not.
Yeah, that sounds.
See, I think that's the kind of innovation that Endless Ocean needed.
If you could both, yeah, if you could both simultaneously stroking. Like, I'll stroke the left side of the fish. You stroke the right.
God, that game is good. You could pet penguins.
Okay, well, another great thing about Mario, it is more open-ended, and it takes a lot of cues from Western game design. And for example, if you're like me and you collect a lot of stars on each level, there's different worlds. There's 3 or 4 stars in each world. Say you get 2 in each one. By the time you get to the second whole galaxy, which is like another set of levels, you'll be able to go to any of those levels as soon as you get there. Like, and most times in this game, you have 4 or 5 different worlds you can go to at any time. So if you go to a level you don't like it, go to a different level. There's tons of freedom. There's way more freedom than in past Mario games.
So you don't feel like you have to sit there and bang your head against something over and over. You can back out, go do something different, come back to it.
Always.
That's a good decision. That is always a good decision in platform games, especially. How's the difficulty as it gets towards the end of the game?
It's really it's pretty hard, but
I'm having memories of Sunshine.
Well, okay, I'd say there are levels that are as hard as the hardest levels in Sunshine. However, they're completely optional, and you can usually tell if a level is going to be really, really hard.
Dude, if a level is in a game, it's not optional.
No, like. Seriously,
you know what I'm saying? Is I'm playing a game and I want to beat the game.
Well,
and
yeah, but
I can't
think
say,
that's the talk for your therapist.
I would like my money back for these levels.
You can beat this game, Galaxy, without playing any of the really hard levels, if you want.
Okay.
All right.
And that's not beating. They're still in there.
I'm on your team.
Yeah.
I guess I always play every
Dude, it's
single
like
I mean,
I want to
I'm
play.
a completist
This is the same.
too.
Like
Yeah.
back to like Guitar Hero. I'm fucking pissed off at them making 3 of the
Right.
songs only
But
unlockable
what I'm
through
saying
playing
is
co-op.
unlock.
I want my freaking Beastie
Yeah.
Boys without having to play co-op.
But I'm saying about Mario is through the main game, if you just want to see the ending of the game, there will be no point at which the average player hits a brick wall and there's nothing for them to do. They have to master this level. There's always some other way to get to their solution. Because, it's like Mario where you have to get 60 stars to go to the last boss. And you can get those 60 stars, in lots of different places.
I mean, I guess that's cool, but at the end of the day, if they made that content, if they made these levels for you to go
Right.
play, I want to go play
Well,
them. I
and
mean,
the-
that's the whole
the
point of playing the fucking game.
The incredibly difficult platforming stages will kick your ass. I mean, they're hard as shit, but if you're like a hardcore player who loves platforming, they're amazing. So yeah.
Right, which
Yeah.
is what it's there for.
Right. But I like that they don't force you to play those levels. So
I don't know.
that's enough Mario. Go buy Mario.
All right, somebody else. Sean, baby, what you been playing, dude?
I really enjoy Drake and Josh talent show.
Excellent.
Talent showcase.
You were
Is
one of
that
the first people. You were the first person to review
I
that
was.
game.
Is that for DS?
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. You can perform magic tricks, dazzling magic tricks, and you can fight your way through bullies because bullies will come after you. When
I
you
have
do
a
magic
question.
tricks.
Drake and Josh, they don't look like they're brothers. One of the guys, he looks kind of Mexican. Is he like adopted? I don't really understand.
They don't really get into that in the story. There's a lot of toe sucking. It's kind of like some softcore gay. It's not. They're not all the way naked, but they'll be like in, like Bermuda shorts and shirtless.
Nice.
And
It's like Cinemax in the evening or something.
Yeah.
they couldn't get the kids themselves to play the parts. They have like this 30-year-old man, and they like wax their chest. They did everything they could to make them look
Oh, I
boyish.
played that game.
Right. But I mean, one of them has a beard, and I just don't buy it.
Breaks the illusion completely.
Yeah,
You're
like I don't buy
wait,
that this
so
is Drake and Josh fucking.
Is Drake and Josh better than Zach and Wiki?
Yeah.
Really? All right.
Yeah. And
More
I think it's
importantly-
better than Bratz, but not as good as Pony Friends.
Where does Hannah Montana fall into this whole equation?
Hannah Montana games are bullshit.
No, Hannah Montana 2
Oh.
just came out, and it's awesome.
I
Dude,
will
are you
take that to the grave.
You should have taken your Jake and
Kim Possible?
Jake
Fuck
and
her.
Drake
That's
are-
So Raven is so much better than Kim Possible.
What about Cheetah Girls?
I fucking hate Cheetah Girls. But it's a love-hate thing. I mean, I have to begrudgingly admit their game is fantastic. It's just that one of them raped my mom.
Yeah.
it's trauma.
And let's see. My girlfriend won't shut up about Mass Effect, so that's kind of like I'm really playing a game.
Are you playing Disgaea for PSP?
I played a lot of Disgaea on the PS2,
you
so I
over
haven't.
it? Are
I
you
have
over
it
it?
on my PSP.
I know
but
you're kind of a neat.
I haven't started
People
it yet.
wouldn't expect someone as cool and street smart as Sean Baby to be a Nippon Ichi nerd.
I really like Nippon
But you
Ichi
should see
games.
him pull out his
Cool
like.
and street smart.
You should see Sean Baby pull out his.
I'm very
his-
street smart.
You are very
graph
street
paper.
smart.
I speak hobo. Sometimes I just walk up to him.
got any-
I'll talk to him all day. People are like,
What?
"How do you talk hobo?"
Wait. Why does your hobo sound a lot like your Bill Cosby?
Mr. Hobo, I'm sorry to have any change, but there's some pudding.
Mr. Cosby, what do you think of that Jake and Drake?
Jake and Drake.
Josh and Drake, Drake and Josh, whoever the fuck they are.
Jake and Drake. Wow.
I don't. What was that impression you were doing?
Is that Howard
nobody
Cosell?
Howard Cosell.
Howard- I thought it was
I
Howard
like
Cosell.
it being Howard Cosell.
Yeah, it's Howard Cosell.
He
means Bill
could
Cosby.
go all the way.
Fucking-
It's dueling terrible
I mean,
impressions.
Sean, baby, I feel like we were slightly responsible for breaking your psyche with all these shitty kids games. So you should play some Disgaea.
I should get back to good games. I do.
Or
Speaking
Final
of nerd
Fantasy
games,
Tactics PSP. You should play that.
yeah, but I just played that. I hacked my PSP about a year and a half, 2 years ago
Whoa,
to play
nerd.
PS1.
Nerd.
And I replayed Tactics, and it was awesome. And this is like the same fucking game with a new cutscene.
It has some new job classes.
Some new job classes. That'll be great. That'll another 30 minutes of content for me. Oh, look, I can be a fucking. I can fix the potholes in the road. I'm a highwayman. Thanks, Squaresoft. I can be a mime.
I think you can actually.
Yeah, probably. Fantastic.
Oh dear, that might get your head caved in or something.
Yeah, I'm
a
real scared of
mime.
Squaresoft nerds. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Like, hey, Squaresoft nerds, any three of you, you name the time and place.
You'll take them on.
That would be a good fight. Me against three Squaresoft nerds?
Yeah.
Let's set that up for the next,
I know one Squaresoft nerd
you think we do?
who might be able to beat you up.
Is that Jarek?
No.
Who is this super tough Squaresoft?
Who?
Jason Allen. Do you remember Jason Allen?
Oh.
He's
Oh, yeah.
Is that huge buff guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually could be.
And he's totally gay for
Guy's
Final Fantasy.
way out of my weight class.
In fact, this is a funny story about him. At the Square Enix party where they had the new trailers of Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, he sat in line for like an hour to get in this theater 4 times to watch the same videos.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, he's a
Wow.
good kid.
That is definitely
I respect
card-carrying member of Square Enix Love Fest. That's scary. Why?
He's
Why?
working on his costume. I don't know.
Subtleties. Yeah, you gotta know how to sew the collar on your cosplay.
He's got a very short memory. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. A line for... Okay, I'll go see this.
I love Final Fantasy.
All right, Crispin, what do you
Is
play?
this the line for So You Think You Could Dance?
Oh, have you played Dancing with the Stars for Wii yet?
No, but I'm looking forward to
Well,
it.
hopefully
That'll be on his list for sure.
it's actually on the Broken Pixels list, so
Yeah.
we'll all be playing it pretty
Oh,
soon.
good. Well, I'll play it cold with you guys.
Awesome.
You haven't been playing that, have you, Crispin? No.
Actually, no.
Oh.
I've been playing a lot of stuff that you guys talked to death about. I just beat Halo 3.
What about Assassin's Creed?
Yes, I'm playing Assassin's Creed. I'm reviewing it right now.
I hear there's a big secret about that game.
There is.
I heard it may not be what it appears.
Ubisoft refused to go into detail about what's going on in this game's world. Like, you're an assassin in the Crusades, and you look around, everyone's got like crazy Matrix effects around them, and it's like, okay, what? Yeah, what is?
Yeah,
what
we'd
is that?
ask like,
are you
I'm-
like a time traveler? Or
Yeah,
are
I'm
you
in ancient world, suddenly surrounded by numbers, and be like, what's with the numbers? They're like, what numbers?
I don't see any numbers.
Those are the fish you pet.
Oh, I wish.
Oh, that'd be a
But you
good game.
you find
Wow,
out.
that health bar sure looks awful high tech.
Yeah. You find out what the twist is in the first minute of the game.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Way to keep that secret so long.
Not so much a twist as it is just the way the game is.
But I don't know.
secret.
I don't know if I've plumbed the depths of the secret. There might be more going on. So I'm still fairly early in the
How's
game.
the soundtrack by Creed?
What?
Didn't Creed do this right? No.
Maybe that's the next
That's
twist.
why
I've
it
got.
sucks so hard.
If so, I've got to get ready to lower that score.
Everybody hates on the Creed.
But
around here.
what about the controls? Because I know the controls are controversial.
Okay,
Because
so the game.
there's a head button, right?
The game, yeah, it's kind of like
what?
Sean Baby's
you have
like,
a button
head
for
button.
your head, button for your feet.
Sean made me press that head button a lot.
He's like, fuck yeah, game, give me head.
Not enough head. Yeah, so far I haven't actually used the head very much in the game. But there is quite a tutorial at the beginning. In fact, I think I'm still kind of in the tutorial.
How many hours are you into the game?
Not that far, probably a couple, 3 hours.
3 hours still the tutorials. That's Sean. Maybe you love this game.
My favorite.
But yeah, it also came with the reviewer's guide with a hotline.
Is the hotline to Jade Raymond?
I don't know. It's only open from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Is it spelled Hottline?
Would you like to meet hot teens in your area?
Would you like to meet hot assassins in your area?
Does it come with a text back?
A what? Oh,
Text back.
oh man, I don't know. I have to look into that.
Yeah, exactly.
What's a text back?
Well, you ever seen that shit at night? Like we're
Yeah.
like text your phone number
yeah. Oh, I like those.
only
commercials.
$19.99 every 2 minutes.
We kept texting.
I don't
What do you-
take
what
in
do you
that much data when I'm masturbating usually. And that commercial starts says this content's for adult only. I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Local singles want to talk on this
I
party
hear that
line.
Girls Gone Wild steel drums.
You're like 1-900 spank. Yes.
yes.
I can T9 with one hand. Why not?
Game looks like Zelda when I walk by people playing it. Kind of. It looks like high-res Zelda with like I'm watching Andrew play the other day. He's like riding around on this horse, jumping over stuff. There's a very
Right
There's a
around-
horse?
There's a whore?
Oh, wait.
You haven't got the horse yet?
I haven't gotten to the horse.
Sorry, I was okay. Spoiler.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
It's something for the teen girls.
That's the twist.
the twist is you get. I don't know. It just kind of looked like sort
I'm
of
still in the
adventure-ish.
gray area.
There's
of the
also a
game.
green area and
Yeah.
a blue area.
Blue. I'm looking for it. Maybe which color is the horse in?
The one that looks like a Middle Eastern city in the 1500s.
Oh, that could be gray. That could be brown. It could be blue.
Ponies with a Z is a great pony game.
Oh,
I saw there's one called Horse Life coming out.
I'll be playing that for sure. Ponies with a Z is really, it takes you inside the life of a pony owner.
Why
You
is
have
it?
to-
Why is it with a Z?
Just a little urban edge with your pony.
Are the ponies kind of street?
they're the Bratz
Yeah, but
ponies.
Not really. I mean, they got ribbons in their hair and everything, but they do have a lot of horse disease.
Oh,
You gotta use your medicine.
Any, hoof and mouth?
You gotta clean the hoof. I didn't get hoof and mouth. It just it said my pony was sick because I don't think I'm very
How
good
does
at
it
ponies
compare?
with a Z.
How does it compare to Barbie's horse game?
Barbie's horse game is more of an action horse riding
I
game.
thought that was more of a horse accessorizing game.
That's the part that I like. That's my favorite part. But most of it is like riding around trying to keep Barbie from getting knocked off.
now wait. Now while riding your pony later on, can you have your first experience?
I'm pretty sure that
can you
that's
br-
why
can
the
you,
thing was vibrating so much.
Right.
Can you break Barbie's maidenhead on the horse?
Oh shit!
It's a special move.
It's a very special move, yes.
That requires the iToy.
Right.
Oh, goodness. All right.
Hyman shattered.
Achievement unlocked.
Horn bonus.
All right, the bonus round is coming in the next segment after we get back from this break because we got a whole sack full of bad games. And yeah, a sack. That's what I said.
We're going through my sack of bad games.
Going through your sack of games.
Kick ass.
We're gonna all get our hands around those games.
Around a sack?
Well, you're gonna have to reach into the sack to grab a hold of whatever might come out of there. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Sack.
The Star Wars Battlefront Entertainment Pack includes all new, limited edition, lighter, slimmer white PSP with Darth Vader art and Star Wars Battlefront Renegade Squadron game. Play on widescreen LCD or on any TV with video out.
All right, we're back. I'm going to start off with a couple of quick message
Wait, before you
board
get there,
threads.
did you fix the music? Everybody was complaining about the music in last week's show.
Yeah, we're using regular music today.
good.
Obviously, if you're
We should
listening,
get
you're hearing
studio. Can we get that?
Yes,
Do you have that?
we don't have licensed music.
Oh.
Look, we're on a budget here.
Didn't we sing that
Our
earlier?
budget is nothing. Our budget is exactly $0.00, so we don't have no licensed music. But what we had last week was Bill Roper's old band, which no one actually paid attention to the show notes.
Oh, I was on the show. I didn't.
I know.
Pay attention to
That was Bill Roper's band from, I guess, like when he just got out of college. He was playing bass.
You never would have known.
No, it was surf. Who knew they were like safe? Okay, anyway, everyone hated it. It's gone. Done. No more.
All right,
done.
You also notice we have no more buzzing.
Really?
No more buzzing. Yes, because we're using the old laptop now until we get the new laptop resuscitated because it's fucked up or whatever. Anyway, so first thread is
I like this technical segment we're in.
it's thrilling.
Could you adjust my flange?
Yes. Hold on. We'll give you a flanger adjustment. Linetson on our board was asking about when do you play your games. He's like has this issue with scheduling because he has apparently a girlfriend, which might be surprising to some
Kick
people.
it to the curb. She's getting in the way of your games.
He's like, do you always play your
Can't
games?
trust him.
Do you always play your games late at night? Do you play them in the morning? When do you how do you figure out your time? How do you figure out your time?
Shane?
When do you play your games, Shane? You don't have a girlfriend, so it's easy.
I do not currently have a girlfriend, and I play my games at night generally and on weekends. Once in a great while, I will play games at work for review. Pretty rarely. More often, if I play a game at work, it's just for fun, like a fighting game. You know, you
right.
After Hours, Street Fighter, Virtua Fighter, and Soul Calibur.
We've kind of lost that vibe. We should resurrect
coming
that.
back. It's coming back.
It is definitely coming back. Definitely coming back.
But yeah, like traditionally, I like to play my games on the weekends. That's my favorite.
Cool. Crispin?
Yeah, weekends. Sometimes I wake up really early and then I'll play them in the morning. It's weird. I'll get up like at 5 a.m.
Oh my God.
And then I'll go out and play a game. Or even if I wake up like last night, actually, kind of had insomnia. I woke up like at 2 a.m. and I'm reviewing also a game for the PSP, the SOCOM Tactical Strike. So I played that. Fortunately, that put me right back to sleep. But mostly at night. But at any time where I'm wake up and can't get back to sleep, games put me right out.
Yeah,
Nice.
The Family Guys are always having like this look at this guy. Terran 1138 has this whole mapped out by the hour schedule. He's like,
Thanks for sharing.
6:30 a.m.
He
Wake
has
up.
his day.
He's like
See, I use games to fill the holes in my day from like my other hobbies or work or things like that.
7:38 to 7:44. Masturbate.
No,
I love
actually,
it.
7:30 to 8 p.m. is bath and bedtime story for the boys.
Oh.
Okay.
That's a euphemism if I've ever heard one.
Seriously.
Exactly. 9:30 p.m. Kiss the wife goodnight, get a glass of water, and sit down and play a game.
What a fun husband.
11.
You're not in bed, wife. You're way thrown off my schedule.
11:37. Reassess my wasted life and shattered dreams.
Cry yourself to sleep.
10:34. Apologize for premature ejaculation.
Sean, baby, when don't you play games?
During the premature ejaculation, usually it's. I'm like, I could be playing Nintendo rather than just feeling terrible about myself and apologizing.
But I feel him. I mean, if you work all day and have anybody else that you spend your life with, then yeah, when are you going to play games? You're going to play games at night or the other times or on the weekends.
I wait for the girl to go to bed, and that's when I get my games in. And that's usually to avoid working.
And if
then 4 o'clock comes around, I gotta fucking write some jokes.
And if she wants you to join her in bed, that does definitely surpass gaming, right?
Well, during the sex part, but
right? No, yeah. I mean,
But what about?
Absolutely, you're not going to turn down sex for a video game.
Absolutely.
Usually.
Isn't there a 2-player game you can play in bed while having sex?
We like old Japanese ROMs as our foreplay. We like to find badly translated Japanese ROMs on the Super Nintendo
Right,
emulator.
excellent.
That's some good foreplay.
That will get you totally turned on. All right.
My girl, I mean, we met through nerd circumstances. She read SeanBaby.com before we met. So, I mean, you got to be pretty nerdy to come up and say, hey, aren't you Sean Baby?
That's some good shit.
I don't think I've ever met like a cool person who's like, hey.
That's how I met you. I was like, hey, I love your website, Sean. Maybe your Mega Man part when I was laughing.
That's how we all met him. See, we're like just confirming his case.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know, you guys are all right. You're the good ones, all right?
Thanks.
Yeah.
Scimitar threw us a thread, which is funny, and I thought I'd throw this out there because you play a lot of handheld games.
I do.
Does he ever?
So Scimitar's thing was like, is there any way that a handheld game could ever be Game of the Year? Which is basically the whole disrespect for handheld games.
Let me interject. I famously voted for a handheld game to be Game
Famously,
and
in your own mind.
It was a bold choice.
Yes, just yesterday, Brian Intihar, our previews editor, was reminded me that because I voted for WarioWare micro games to be Game of the Year, that kept KOTOR from being Game of the Year, and he's still mad about it.
How did this? Okay, lay out the whole thing now, real quick. How did that keep KOTOR from being Game of the Year? What was Game of the Year then?
It was something with Prince of Persia, like something nobody actually wanted to be Game of the Year.
And it was like number 2 on everyone's list,
right?
Or something?
Yeah, because the way
Prince of Persia was legitimate Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So you voted for WarioWare. That hurt KOTOR, and Prince of Persia wound.
Yeah, because a lot of people had voted Prince of Persia as their second choice, and a bunch of people voted for KOTOR as their first choice. But KOTOR wasn't on my top 5 at all.
Your faith in your Game of the Year award is definitely rapidly plummeting. People are listening. They're like, "What?"
No, I hadn't played KOTOR, and like other people were like, "Well, you should just vote for it." I'm like, "Well, I don't know that it's good. I'm going to vote for things I know are good." So,
all right. So anyway, so then how did you vote for it? So obviously,
WarioWare is like a genre redefining game. It's amazing. It like created a whole new genre.
Fair vote.
Super fun, awesome. I gave it a 10. I love it.
people on the boards are saying stuff like,
I think Neo Geo Pocket.
Cardfighters
Clash. That's
Cardfighters
probably,
Clash was the shit.
Depending on the day you ask me, that's my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Really?
I would have voted for that for Game of the Year.
Yeah, I would have given that game a 10.
Mm-hmm. Crispin, what do you think? Handheld game. Can a
Besides
handheld
Batman
game,
and Robin.
That's what I was going to say.
Are you all right?
No.
No, I believe absolutely it can, especially because it seems like more and more like different interesting games are coming to the handhelds, and more like long games are coming to the handhelds, like Dragon Quest and that kind of thing. You've got some epic games coming to little systems. So if you have dysentery and you need to spend like 40 hours on the shitter, that's going to be your game of the year.
Oh shit! Leveled up.
I mean, yeah. If you look at the DS release list, it is mainly Disney Channel licensed properties.
Yeah,
but there are some good games coming out on handheld still.
Totally.
So production time was a big point that came up on the boards. Most people, though, did not think that a handheld game could be Game of the Year. Some people just,
racist.
They are.
If you're going to put like Advance Wars, which was probably my favorite game of that year, if you put it up against, like a Halo or Halo 2 or something like that, you're going to be like, that's like this huge, majestic, giant production.
Production scale was something that came up.
Sure.
Some people just right off the bat, everybody has a little bit of graphics horror in them, so they can't turn that off.
That's fair.
I don't know. The aesthetics factors that really matter. Dub Z summed up a lot of stuff. He said it comes down to technology. It used to be that, whatever you can do with a handheld, you can do better on a console. Now he says, can you do MMOs? Could you do new things on graphics and handhelds? Are they going to get better enough that people do big productions? And like what you said about Dragon Quest coming there, if productions continue to get bigger and bigger on handhelds with the number of handhelds that are out there, sure they can be.
Well, and like a game like Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, which doesn't come out until March, but the production values on that game, it looks better than some, like the cutscenes and stuff look better than 360 and PS3 cutscenes.
Yeah, so there's two parts to handheld development. There's like the handheld development that has had 2 or 3 guys doing a project they really wanted to do, and with a little team they can make it happen on handheld. And then now we're starting to see real projects on handheld. So I think no reason a handheld game couldn't be Game of the Year. Absolutely. Sure. So last thing is if you're reading stuff over the weekend, check out the feature we put up called Halo Repair. You remember?
I hear this is a controversial.
It is a very controversial subject. That's why
saying, what's wrong with Halo 3? Right?
It is. It is. So you remember about a year and a half ago when Luke famously wrote the Halo 2.
Luke Smith.
Yeah.
Who now is at Bungie.
So you remember when he wrote the broken Halo feature. Talked about all the problems with Halo 2, things they needed to fix. So this revisits those problems, asks whether or not they've been fixed in Halo 3, and then points out the faults with Halo 3. Written by Nick, who's an avid Halo 3 player, and B, a damn good one. So I want to see some people jump into that thread and tell us we're full of shit or agree or whatever. Fucking argue that shit out. Argue that shit out. I don't play Halo 3 seriously, so I can't even get into it.
You just play it for fun?
No, I don't even really play it. Dude,
he just plays it on a lark.
I finished the game, and it hasn't really come out of the box.
That wasn't serious, finishing the game? You're like, I wasn't serious about it. I was dabbling.
Yeah, I was dabbling.
Kind of half looking out of the corner of your eye, smoking a cigarette, watching your
Legendary. It doesn't matter to me.
All the skulls turned on. Huh?
All right, break out the bag. Busted loose.
All right.
Busted loose. Okay, so first, for starters, dude, how long have you been covering bad games? Like, how did you even get started covering bad games?
When did your love affair with bad games begin?
Fuck, how did Sean Baby become the guy that everyone's like, oh, yeah, give it to Sean Baby?
Back in college, I started the website, and I had a Nintendo section. I just sort of focused on bad games.
Was Total Recall the one that really started it for you?
That was always near the top of my list on the worst games. I did a feature. I was probably like the late 90s. I did
Let's rewind. What's the first game you remember playing ever that you knew was terrible?
Your calling.
I remember playing a lot of Commodore 64 games that were terrible, but you couldn't really judge them, right?
I remember 2600 games that I knew were terrible.
Yeah, there's a lot of those. Like, I remember E.T. just like, I couldn't even wrap my head around, but I was such a little kid.
But I kept playing it. Yeah, I knew it was bad,
I hate
too.
this, but like, I'm supposed to like it, right? But I remember I rented Terminator 2 on Nintendo, and I was just so pissed off because I'm like, you're a kid, you go to the store, you're like, rent this game. You're like, Terminator 2, that movie's so awesome. And you're like, I'm going to play this all weekend. I get home, and like 30 minutes later, I'm like, this is bullshit.
That was kind of a late game. But like, I remember I rented Deadly Towers, which is an early NES game, and I fucking hated that game.
Yeah.
It's like a bullshit version of Zelda. Yeah. I was like, I hate this game. I remember because I loved Nintendo, I loved NES, and I was like, but I hate this game. It doesn't compute. And that's when I learned all games aren't good.
That they can be bad.
And so you took it up as your cross to bear. You're gonna call them out,
right?
Lay them on the mat.
Try to have some fun with it. They ruined my life. I'm gonna ruin theirs.
You ever get tired of it though? Like you actually do play the games.
Usually.
Sometimes he reviews the boxes.
Sometimes, but if I do, I usually make that clear.
Remember Carnage Rally, that one?
Carnage Rally, I only looked at the front of the box, and I couldn't even play it. It was like clearly one of the dudes who programmed the game going, "Arr!" And then they photoshopped his hair blue. It was the most fucking bullshit title, and they like put a pink car behind him, and they put some Photoshop motion blur.
This is before your time. It was very controversial because EGM made fun of it in your column.
Yeah.
The rest of the crap, and the publisher was super pissed off. Like really, really pissed off that we made fun of their game, and they were saying they're going to change the box art.
Right.
They want us to re-review the new box art.
Yeah. It was hugely cut. People were so pissed. Like, how dare he review a game without actually playing it?
And then say that he reviewed the game without playing it.
I totally admitted I didn't play it, and then I reviewed it. But you know what? Check this out. 2 out of 10. I'm like, I don't care.
Points.
It's a terrible game. In the game, everyone's like, it's not that bad, but it was very mediocre at best. It was like that Ivan Strongman's fucking, what do you call it? That Super Sprint.
But you never actually play through the bad games, do you? No.
I usually play it for an hour.
Have you ever played through one? No.
I don't think so. I don't know if it takes more than 3 or 4 hours.
Right.
That's like the most I've ever played a game is 4 hours.
Sometimes I feel like we almost play through them on Broken Pixels because they take a lot. They capture a lot of footage.
They do capture a lot of footage.
Yeah, that's edited down.
Yeah, I think we beat. What was that one 3DO adventure game where?
Oh yeah,
that was a good one.
Snow Job.
Softcore porn. That was a good one.
Yeah. All right, so bust out the goods.
All right, well, this is from
here
the last
some
issue
classics
of the.
This isn't even a game.
Hit magazine, Electronic Gaming Monthly. The first one I got was Stolen.
Okay, when I saw this in our magazine, it's a game called Stolen.
Oh, I remember this game.
I didn't think it was a real game. And I know everything. And I was like, this isn't a real game. So I had to go look on the internet. And it turns out this is a real game.
That's the
Art Thief game, right?
Really?
You sort of steal a lot of stuff.
I love Art Thief games.
It's just the most generic piece of crap. But what I loved about it is it says $7.99 used at GameStop. But then underneath that, it says Blockbuster, quality guaranteed, previously played, $6.99. So some asshole bought it from Blockbuster, sold it to GameStop, then they took the old price that this guy bought it for and added $1. So they're like, somebody bought it for $6.99. Motherfuckers love this shit at $7.99.
Did you try to get it for $6.99?
Actually, it was on sale. I got it for $4.99. So that is some.
That's a deal right there.
It's not bad.
And this is a challenge we issued to Sean. Maybe we gave him $100 to get the most bang for his.
To get the most sadness for $100.
Yeah, this game. I mean, we've done this in Broken Pixels. I reviewed this game.
Yes. Oh my God,
the guy game.
The guy game for Xbox and PS2.
It's impossible.
I actually got really far in this game because I was reviewing it and
you were after the boobs.
Well, and the amount of
you were after the boobs.
Well, yeah, of course, and
that's
the amount
goal of the game. That's like saying you were after the stars in Mario. Isn't that right? Bust him.
No, but what's stupid? I mean, among the myriad things wrong with this game is it takes about 45 minutes of playing to see tits. I mean, seriously,
it's awful.
And as I said in my review, where I gave it a 0, you can go on Google, type in tits, and see tits in 1 second.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I hated it, but the other reasons I hated it is because it's this tired. I don't know if you've ever seen the show Street Smarts, where you sort of your goal is to guess how dumb someone is. It's just completely irrelevant. It's just a fucking random guessing game.
The capital of the United States is in Miami.
Yeah,
right.
Like, based on this,
and then you're like, they look really stupid, but maybe not that stupid.
Based on seeing this, drunk slut on St. Padre's Island for 5 seconds, am I supposed to know whether or not she knows Spock's first name? You know,
and then you find out she's a chemistry major and she's just drunk.
Most of these girls I've seen in porn, anyways. So
yeah, they seem.
It's really just lost on me.
The good part about this, though, over the internet, is it doesn't come with a keylogger.
Right.
So, you can actually play this for 45 minutes and not,
That's a lot of work, though. I'd sooner just clear my cache.
Aeon Flux.
That's an award-winning game.
This game starts with a fucking fashion show.
It does have, well, in its defense now, on the box, it has Charlize Theron.
Well, and I said that's an award-winning game. Last year at the Spike VGA Awards, Charlize Theron won Best Female Performance in a Video Game.
Well. Who was she up against? A pony?
she was.
That pony was damn well hung, too.
Fucking A. All right. I got 50 Cent Bulletproof.
Hey, okay. That game isn't that bad.
This game's pretty bad. What was funny though is
you just like 50 Cent. You're like, I like the vitamin water. I like the game.
His vitamin water is very delicious.
Delicious vitamin water. Okay, I'm in here. I'm buying this pile of bad games, and eventually I'm sort of forced to explain to the clerk what I'm doing because I'm like, can you add this up and see how I'm doing? He's like, all right. He's like, these are not that good. And I'm like, yeah. I'm trying to get like the worst games I can for $100. And he's like, what is that, like for an article? I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's for an article. And
I think you should have not told him the truth.
Well, yeah, but I thought I might be able to get a deal because I'm really trying to show him the crazy, extraordinary circumstances he has, the opportunity he has to get rid of some stock. You know what I mean? Like, if you got a shitty game you haven't ever been able to sell, and we'll never sell.
Dude, right now, hook it
up.
It
actually worked out because I actually got them to mark off Mary-Kate and Ashley, Let's Ride, and he's like, I can't do it, corporate. I'm like, dude, seriously, this is the only opportunity you're going to have to sell Mary-Kate and Ashley on the Game Boy Color. And he's like... He's thinking about it. He's like,
No, I think he should have been like, I have a list. I'm like, I've been making a list of like, I came into some money. These are games I've wanted for like 10 years.
Well, I bought 2 copies of Dark Angel. So I think, because I thought it was funnier to buy 2 copies of Dark Angel. And neither one of them had any Jessica Alba related stuff left. Like someone had taken the cover and the box. Yeah, they're like, this is Jessica Alba. Who needs the game but this picture of her? Hot. So I'm going through my games, and I have just this stack of terrible games. And one guy, the clerk, he sees 50 Cent Bulletproof. He goes, this one's pretty bad. This is the only one he really commented on. There's a pretty bad one, which is like by far the best one I got. And then there's this fucking douchebag that's been hanging out in the video games. I've probably been there an hour and a half. He's been there the whole time doing fucking nothing. And I'm sure you've seen people exactly like this. He's just talking to whatever customer will talk to him. He doesn't work there.
He's the idiot that just hangs out.
Just lives in the video game store.
We used to work. We all used to work at game stores. We know this guy.
Right. And so it's like his job to like make the clerk laugh with like stupid nerd references. Hey, Simpsons thing. And so he's fucking hanging out, and he's like watching the whole time I'm buying because like, what else is he gonna fucking do? He lives in the video game store. This is the most interesting thing that's happened in like 3-4 days there. So
he's got like some Mrs. Fields cookie crumbles on his shirt and stuff.
And so the guy goes, 50 Cent Bulletproof. This one's bad. And the guy goes, made him money though. Like that's something I'm gonna fucking respond to. Like, well, there you go. Good point. Random fucking dickhead who lives in the video game store. Like,
he gave me that for free.
Made him money though. Sure did. Can't fault him for that. Just a day at the office. 50%. You know, fuck you.
Did he come over and offer to help you out with, selecting some other
Holy
games?
shit! Wait a minute. You just pulled out. Okay, this was a GameCube launch title by Kemco called.
What is it?
The title is barely even on the game.
Yeah.
It's called Universal Studios Theme Park Adventure, and I always wanted to play this because you can play E.T.
Holy shit.
Well, that right there makes it
Okay,
a
on
game.
the back, it's Woody Woodpecker, and I only know this because I'm 31. He says, "Guess who?" And I'm like, "You're really lucky I know who you are, you fucking
The
thing."
average kid would be like, "What's
Yeah.
this?"
Seriously, I'm guessing. I guess you're like a chicken man. I don't
Mommy, the bird's scaring me.
Here's in pretty big letters. Notice, the game is not a true representation of Universal Studios theme parks, but an interactive game based on Universal Studios theme parks, and some of the characters featured are not associated with the parks. It's like they've disavowed their own game. Look, this isn't a real tour. It's kind of based on the tour, but not really. It's like, if you liked the tour, we're not saying whether or not you like this. It's really not the same thing.
We're not responsible.
It was available at GameCube launch.
Yeah, so
There you go.
There you go. That's how they were hoping to sell some copies. I got
Shane's now digging into the instruction book for the game.
There's a Wild Wild West themed level.
why not?
That was such a big hit.
Dude, you can take this home. You said you're falling back in love with your Wii. I think, Sean, you let him borrow this, right?
Waterworld,
So you can go home, please.
Backdraft.
I'm going to try to sell them
Backdraft.
back and see what my $100 is worth now.
I'm guessing 75 cents.
I bought this one was new for $14.99 because I figured this was going to be really bad. It's called Unfabulous, and it's based on some show that
Who's
no
that
one's
hot
ever
chick
seen.
on the cover?
And it had. Remember the game Journey in the arcade where they had like little digitized heads,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
crappy animated body? That's what this game looks like. Like
It uses the Journey engine.
yeah, it uses the Journey engine. These really creepy, almost photorealistic heads on stupid little stick
Yeah.
figure bodies. It's creepy.
I'm not familiar with Unfabulous's work, but she's pretty cute.
You'd hit it, right? She's 12.
I think she's not 12. I think she's.
That's a 40-year-old woman. They just
She's
made her up.
12. Look at that.
She is a little.
That is
young.
not of age for you. That is not of age for you, poor man.
Give her a couple
you
years.
poor
Shane.
guy. Yeah. Perform and rock out.
Then I got it's called Winner's Circle, not Let's Ride. Mary Kate and Ashley Winner's Circle for the Game Boy Color.
Sweet.
And you notice it says $14.99 on the back. They gave it to me for $9.99. That's some
for
good bargain
for a
shopping.
loose GBA cart.
And, yeah.
Listeners, don't use this story I came up with because they're going to know it's bullshit if someone tries it a second time. I got Soul Plane on DVD. They had
That's not a game.
they had it at the video game store, and I was sent there to get Sadness
Yeah.
for $100.
We weren't
this
specific.
movie is sad.
The movie is
We had
so sad.
We had
Yeah, there was a little bit of
a
controversy.
little controversy in the article because Unfabulous at the time I bought it was the very latest GBA game, which could possibly mean it was the last GBA game. And so I thought that was the equivalent of Soul Plane being Sidney Poitier's final film where he played a screaming watermelon that exploded. Apparently, the fact that I was mocking racism turned out to be like really racist once it got to like copy edit.
Right.
So they're like, can we change it to something that isn't a watermelon? And I'm like, it's kind of the concept of the joke is that Sidney Poitier died doing a
At one
racist
At
stereotype.
one point, I saw the page and it had been changed some other inanimate object. It wasn't funny at all.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's a joke. It's just not even a joke. It's Mad Libs if you change
Yeah.
it from watermelon.
Yeah.
I think it's just they were worried that readers, some readers might not get the subtlety. They might
Right.
just see watermelon and black guy and
Right.
be like,
I'm calling the NAACP.
See,
They don't
secretly,
know-
you love that movie, right, Shane?
I have seen it. I enjoy the work of the RZA. I think he's a
I once
underrated actor.
Yeah. I once did an article on racial exploitation films, which are films that are based around the comical difference between white people and black people. And 2 months after I wrote it, Soul Plane comes out. I'm like, that would have been my closing argument.
Right there, gold.
Damn it.
Wow, you still got you got a lot of money. You got a lot of games for
You
your
get a
money.
lot of bad games for $100 now.
Value.
This is a PS2 launch title. Orphans, Scion of Sorcery.
It's
This came up in our bad game discussion
It did,
3 or 4
yes.
weeks ago. Remember that? Just,
Yes.
There you go. Orphan sign.
It's fantastic. When you open a treasure box in this game, every RPG cliche you can imagine is there. It takes forever to do everything. You open a treasure chest, the background disappears. You're in a void, just you and the treasure chest. It spins around you as you open it. And when you fucking open it, it's not like this is the helmet of grand magic. It's like you find healing herb times 1.
Do you get stars and sparkles coming out of it? And shit?
All the shit.
Did
Fuck
you, Did
yeah.
you make it to a boss?
Yes.
Because the amazing thing about the boss is you stand still.
Yeah,
like
you're just-
it's like moving. That would be complicated.
There's not really
you,
health bars.
You stand still here and fight
Yeah.
this boss.
You sort of hit the attack button at certain times. It doesn't quite matter.
Yeah.
You're tough.
So crazy.
You're
it
tough.
just
You don't
reminded
have to move around.
I got 2 copies
You're
of
a
James
Scion.
Cameron's Dark Angel. It's a very good
What's with
game.
these
I like.
horrible covers? Why do you not have the original
Whoa,
cover
this
art on
game.
these?
Yeah, well, they don't.
Talk-
Whoever sold it back didn't bring them the cover.
Wow.
Get on the mic.
Get on the mic.
Get on the
I
mic.
remember this game from E3. They had it's a freestyle rap game, and they
doesn't-
had
it
really
doesn't
bad freestyle rappers
doesn't
at their
really
booths
work,
who
also.
like. Maybe they had a few minutes of good freestyle rapping, but every time I walk by him, the guy's going, get on the mic. Get on the mic. And I watched him for 10 or 15 minutes just to make sure that that's all he did. And
I mean, first
according
of
to
all-
my studies.
How can you beat that pose on the back? I mean, this is the rap showdown.
I mean,
Battle
this
Royale.
was a good idea, but the game just doesn't work.
It was a
Like,
9-year-old
really doesn't
white
work.
child's idea of what urban culture is.
They got all
Let's
the
sing a
big,
rap.
look. You got California
A
Love
rap.
in here.
A
You got
rap.
Rough Riders.
A rappy
Anthem.
rat nap. Rap.
Unfortunately, the planned companion game Get on the Floor was canceled.
Oh,
For real.
That's too bad. Now, what else did I get? I got
Get in My Caddy though was
without
done.
the game. I got the Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer strategy guide.
What amazes
because
me-
there's nothing worse
Yeah.
than this as reading
Like,
material.
why would anybody want to spend $16.99 for a strategy guide for a brawler based on a terrible movie?
It really helps, like, because a lot of part of the game you have to like progress forward through a hallway and like use the attack button to remove the attackers from your way, and this really helps walk you through that. It gives you like a little bit of interesting backstory on the characters that you might not know just from like existing in a world where these fucking characters have been
All
around
right,
for
so
40
look,
years, and
here's
there's a
here's
hit
who we need
feature
to
film
really
based
feel.
on them.
We need to feel sympathetic for
Whoever wrote this.
Exactly.
Jennifer and Kenny Sims.
Those
Jennifer and Kenny
poor
Sims.
people.
Yeah,
They had to write this
I
strategy
bet
guide.
they're swingers. You know, you gotta guess they're into some kinky shit. All
You know,
right.
at the
there's
very
absolutely
least,
no
yeah.
evidence of that, but okay, I'll go.
Well, why not?
I bet
you
there's
know.
some, are there
They
help-
probably don't even remember writing it. They probably are like on some contract with Prima Games. They write like 8 of these a year. They get it.
Like-
They're like, yes, Fantastic Four. And there's
They dropped 5 or 6 hits of acid and just
Yeah.
like.
I mean,
fuck
seriously,
yeah,
is,
let's write some
is every
shit.
page like continue a pace,
Pretty much.
attacking enemies?
yeah.
Wow.
Use this move here. Like you wouldn't have thought of it. Like it matters which move you use.
They've
It's
checked
pretty
out
incredible.
a long time ago.
And there's a couple like sidebars where like there's one entire page that's taken up with the sidebar. It says the Super Scroll has all the powers of the Fantastic Four and uses them quite well. Like that little amount of text is like the whole page. Just all this blank space and a picture of the Super Scroll. Just hey,
That's a job well
that's
done.
it. I guess that's all there is to know about me.
Well,
They really did their research. You can't fucking Google Super Scroll.
You've given us a terrifying window into your life, Sean
Yeah,
Bailey.
this is
kinda
like the kind of
terrifying.
shit I do for a week straight during these columns.
how do you manage it? How do you make it through?
It's really hard. You gotta be strong. I grew up on a farm. They breed you tough. You know what I mean? If the job needs done, it needs done, and you get out there and you do it.
I mean, I understand where he's coming from because I also enjoy the bad games. And a lot of the games you've had on Broken Pixel are games I brought in from home, such as the world-famous Queen of Queens.
Excellent
Queen of
game.
Queens was pretty
Yeah,
epic. I mean, that's pretty fun
If you
to
haven't
watch.
watched that
actually.
episode of Broken Pixels, which was the first episode of Broken Pixels.
That was
Yeah, like if I see a game that looks really, really fucking bad, and if it's less than $10, I will usually buy it. Because the comedic value you get out of playing an incredibly shitty game.
Yeah, even before Broken Pixels, we had some good time playing that game.
Yeah.
Over at Shane's house, we'd play fucking Queen of Queens.
And that's a good example of a bad game that works in Broken Pixels, because when they put in Superman 64,
Yeah.
that game is just so bad, it's hard
so
to even
bad.
really have fun playing that bad
like
game.
a lot of the games we play in Broken Pixels, they kind of break our spirit. Like
Yeah.
by the time it's over, we just like feel ill.
But Queen of Queens is like this high energy sucking.
Yeah.
It's like
No, there's like a break line there, though. Like,
dazzling.
there's a break line between fucking hilarious, stupid bad games and then like these Supermans, which
Right. Like Todd McFarlane's Evil Nightmare Creatures. Or
Evil Prophecy.
Evil
we
Prophecy.
got lucky with that. That could have been a terrible, boring one, but we were in the perfect mood for it.
Well, and
Yeah.
luckily Todd McFarlane was involved.
Todd McFarlane, right.
You can guarantee shit when he's involved.
We could probably do Todd McFarlane jokes for days.
all right.
None come to mind.
That's
So
fine. You don't
I
have to have
guess
any come
I'm
to
wrong.
mind. We don't want to offend Todd McFarlane fans out there.
Yeah.
You know,
Because they're busy buying action figures.
Well,
and
right,
fucking
and they're
I like the
hockey
fact
playing iguanas.
I like the fact that he still writes Spawn. Spawn comic is on like issue like 330,
Right.
and like luckily he still writes it because his true talent is in weaving a yarn. It's a real talent, telling a great story.
Do you remember the Spawn HBO show? And it would cut to Todd McFarlane like inking in his basement. It's this spooky, sinister basement, and he'd like turn the camera slowly. Darkness. Is it truly all that lurks inside man's soul? And he would like have these like, what does that mean? He'd ask these questions no one would ever bother to ask. Who truly knows who owns the night, viewer? You're like, Todd, no one's trying to solve these riddles you're giving us.
Mysteries, do they exist?
Bats. Are they after us?
All right.
Greetings, I am Todd McFarlane, a bat people.
Okay, I'm going to take a minute to. We're going to take a minute to recompose ourselves. When we come back,
get serious.
We're going to get serious. We have news
Serious
to do,
news.
and I have a feeling that this could go very, very well for us. Probably,
Oh, good.
probably extremely well for us. So stick around. We'll be back in a second with that.
This One Up podcast is brought to you by the Doritos Presents Unlock Xbox contest. 5 finalists remain. Now we need to pick the winner. Visit snackstrongproductions.com before November 18th to play their games and vote for your favorite.
All right, we're back and ready to hit the news, and we start off.
What up yours? Soy John, baby. Nice.
Special props to start off for Reuters, and an excellent headline with "We trims the lead over PS3," because when you're in the lead, what you want to do is lose the lead, right?
Well, Reuters is based in Amsterdam.
Anyways, the story apparently their excellent citation of a game magazine publisher said that the Wii game console outsold Sony PlayStation 3 only 2-1 during October. So the lead starting to shrink for the Wii over the PS3 in Japan.
From a 3-1.
From a 3-1 down to only 2-1. The Nintendo sold 110,000 Wiis in the 4 weeks up to October 28th compared to 47,000 PS3s.
Well, it's not
it's Enterbrain. It's Enterbrain numbers.
Famitsu. And it's not that shocking since after a year, finally the PS3 is somewhat more affordable and has a few actual games.
It seems like, this was inevitable.
Yeah. Things, it's like
And
shocking.
2-1 is still pretty serious ass kicking. It's not a savage ass kicking like 3-1.
Oh, and
So they should say lead goes from savage ass kicking to regular ass kicking.
Yeah, or the lead that Wii has on 360 in Japan, which is something like 5 billion to 1.
well, no, actually, the 360 sold 18,000.
It actually is doing pretty well because Ace Combat 6.
I know, and at the end of this newscast, we actually have some interesting forecasts and predictions for the holiday from Famitsu. So anyway, PS3 also is contributing to the welfare and benefit of the entire world and society through folding at home. And they're going into the Guinness Book of World Records for that. Are you in the Guinness? You should do something to be in the Guinness Book of World Records.
I'm not really an attention whore that way.
No, but not attention whore. I mean, just for the shit of it.
I do know.
It would be fucking hilarious.
We know somebody who did at one time have a Guinness World Record.
Who?
Mr. Adam Fenton. He's a PR professional.
Yeah.
Most bees in his mouth?
No, he about a year ago.
My favorite record.
About a year ago, he had the world record for eating the most number of powdered donuts in 1 minute. Which was
That sounds like a miserable record.
Which was 3.
Whoa.
What?
Yes.
Shit.
Yes.
I know what I'm doing this
He's
afternoon.
he's been beaten. Now it's 4.
I could do that on accident, I think.
No, you think it's easy.
Yeah, it
It's
sounds
not.
really easy.
You cannot drink. You cannot lick your lips.
Why can't you lick your lips?
Cannot lick your lips.
What kind of fucking rule is that?
What the hell does that have to do with
Guinness's
whether you
rule.
ate the fucking donuts or not?
It's considered cheating.
All right.
Let's get an official.
Hold on,
here.
you got a little something right
You
there.
must have a thumb up your butthole.
That's
Well,
not
and
good.
Wait, why do I have to have a thumb up your
He went
I'm
on Regis
sorry.
and Kathy Lee and did it on the air.
Wow.
Yeah.
He
All right,
broke,
so anyway-
he broke the record on the air,
With
or just tied his own record.
I'm not sure.
Sony contributed to them to folding at home, winning the Guinness Book of World Record as the most powerful distributed computing network in existence.
You got some funny joke about cancer, Sean, baby?
I try to avoid that.
Okay, good.
The folding at home folks said there's a reflection of the extraordinary worldwide participation by gamers and consumers around the world, for which they are very grateful. Solving cancer one PS3 at a time. The joke still exists, though. Everyone's doing that because they're playing games on their other 2 consoles, right? That's the joke. That's the joke.
Dude, I totally beat cancer. I'm on the final level.
Anyway, what else? We Major Nelson, who incidentally, there's always this. What is it?
He really wants to be on this podcast.
Major Nelson, dude, we really like you, but you don't really make games. I mean,
Who's Major Nelson?
He's
the community guy for
Xbox. Of
Xbox.
Microsoft who does Xbox podcast.
And he wants to come on the podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, so as much as
you just don't want him?
it's not that we don't want him, it's just we don't really know what we talk with Larry about because
Plus-
he's just the community guy for Xbox.
And plus, we
Talk to him about that, right?
already got one old dude.
You talked to me about 50 Cent Bulletproof. I mean, it seems like you can talk to a dude about.
I'm pretty sure that he's just going to be able to give us the Microsoft corporate line. I mean, I don't
Sean
know.
Baby's giving us a
Make
Sean
him do stunts. They're like, cover him in mayonnaise.
What he is
tickets
what he's
to
good at
White
is
Snake. The Gorge.
he's good at telling the Xbox faithful the most obvious stuff in the world, like this on his latest blog post. If you run into that person in Halo 3 who claims that if they could have your Xbox Live ID name and password and recover your account to their hard drive, then
The Prince of Nigeria gets funding.
then they urge you not to fall to that temptation. It's like the leveling up stuff. They'll get you all the skulls in Halo 3, and they'll get you all the achievements. Yeah, maybe you might not want to do that because if they
Too
buy...
late. I already did.
Oh, yeah.
Why didn't I?
The print, he needed your help.
If you do this and then they say buy some stuff with your account over Xbox Live, there's nothing Microsoft can do for you except for delete your account. And if they delete your account, you lose all of your game saves because they're all tied to your game account.
I knew I
And your
didn't buy
gamer score.
like 10 copies of Outpost Kaluki X.
Yeah. Thank you for the obvious. Don't share your game account tags with people. How smart do you have to be to that?
So don't.
Don't. Yes, you should not
Okay.
do that. Yeah. Other important things. Don't give away the password to your online banking account.
Sean Baby, can I borrow your social security card?
Yeah.
You should probably be careful about that. Apparently, Xbots need Larry to tell them about that, or Major Nelson. I don't know why. Guitar Hero 3, when it came out on the very first day, had a online patch. The online patch added something that should have been in the game in the first place, which is co-op quick play. So you could just the way the game was set up is.
Wasn't that one of the things that we complained about?
It was something we complained about in a review, right? Well, so they fixed it in the 360 with a day one download. The question is whether or not it's going to be fixed in the other versions, and the answer so far, unofficially from Red Octane, is well, if we can. So I guess they might be able to fix the PS3 version, and as far as whether they're going to fix the Wii version, we don't really know.
They can do downloads on Wii.
They could, but do they have the hook set up? Because there was a chart I saw on one of the on a competing game site that said that Wii wasn't going to have downloadable content for Guitar Hero 3.
But it has Waggle.
It has Waggle. Okay, whatever. And other patch news, Team Fortress finally got its patch on the 360.
It finally works.
No, it doesn't. I mean, apparently it doesn't.
I heard it does.
I heard it does.
Okay,
so apparently the deal is if you're not playing in the 16-player games, it's gotten better. But the 16-player games, all but the most badass internet connections in the world can't host them still.
That's too bad.
That's too bad.
Sad.
Yeah.
I was going to play that this weekend. We're going to make an EGM team.
I wanted to be a healer.
I'll have to play volleyball or something.
I've seen a lot of people.
Can I be a rogue?
I'll be a bard.
Nice.
There's many people on my friends list playing Orange Box as there are playing Halo 3.
Really?
Yeah. Brian's been playing it a ton. Like every night, Brian's been playing it.
He now no longer hates it.
Did he hate it?
He started with Half-Life 2 and thought it started slow, and it kind of does. But now he's feeling it. I told him to,
so he's playing single player.
Yeah. He's he's like going through checking off all the boxes, going through every game in the package.
Cool.
You should play Portal, Sean. Maybe your friend Eric wrote it.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So earlier
this
this week, we got this crazy announcement from LucasArts that they're still working with BioWare on a project, which is...
Oh, you mean the KOTOR MMO that we talked about like a year ago on this podcast?
Exactly.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Big secret. Oh, my...
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, no, you didn't, right? Yeah. Anyway, this is going to easily become another one of those worst kept secrets ever. So BioWare has an office in Austin where Sony Online Entertainment, who runs Star Wars Galaxy, has an office. And we already know from BioWare that
was a great game. Everyone loved that game, right?
Everybody loved that game. Dude, they've been trying to resurrect
What
that
a
game.
success.
What a wild success.
We already know that a bunch of the SOE guys who worked on Galaxies came over to the BioWare office when it opened. So let's see. We have BioWare working with LucasArts on a game, and that office has a bunch of people who worked on Star Wars games already, and BioWare made KOTOR.
I smell a Howard the Duck MMO.
Exactly. Jeez.
We would be so lucky.
It is going to be weird, though. That
You play that, Sean, maybe.
I would totally play that.
It would be your job to play it, actually.
Yeah,
Probably.
Who was the girl in that?
She was beautiful.
The mom from Back to the Future.
Yes. But, dude, she had some serious hair going on back then.
That looked
She
good
was like
back
a
then.
bush.
Yeah,
had like
Yeah.
a big winter bush.
She had
back
quite a bush.
What the hell was her name? Someone remembers.
She had her own
Fine.
TV show, too.
Yeah.
Don't you got the internet open?
That's very sad. It's very sad that we cannot remember that. Somewhere they're crying. Computer, what is her name? You're going to be very sad about this next one, which is that Metal Gear Solid 4
Don't get me started. No, actually,
delayed.
I'm telling
again.
After playing Mario Galaxy this week, this is
Metal Gear.
I consider this good news.
Really? Do you walk to work or carry your lunch? Well, I don't know. Apparently, somehow we froze. Sean, maybe he's frozen.
Is that like is that a weird sexual joke I don't get?
No, it's like, what the fuck? How does Mario have anything to do?
It is a what the fuck.
Garnet,
Do you dingle dangle banana man penguin time?
Garnet, let me explain my controversial statement.
Okay, explain away. Backpedal.
Super Mario Galaxy was pushed back an entire year.
Okay.
And playing it now, it is immaculately polished within an inch of its life. It is so completely beautifully made in every possible way. And it shows that, you know what, a delayed game is only delayed until it's released.
That's right. It's obviously worked out very well for Time Shift.
An unfinished game that's released early is always unfinished and early. So if this delay means a better product for MGS4, good. There's enough games in spring. I don't need that game in March.
It also means you don't have to buy a PS3.
That's right. You still don't have to buy a PS3.
Yeah. No reason to have one yet.
So the announcement was that it's been moved until the second quarter of 2008, which
May to July.
Right. And does there anyone that now thinks it's not going to slip the rest of the way into the holiday next year?
Nothing's impossible.
I think it will be out before holiday.
You think so?
Yes.
This is an awful long. I mean, every step that it gets closer to holiday next year makes it more likely that for sales reasons you just go ahead and leave it out there till then, right?
We'll see.
When it's delayed in July, we'll see if you're still like super thankful about Super Mario Galaxy, if that's still your rationale for why you're glad it's delayed.
The part that makes me question this the most, you played it.
I did.
And you loved it.
I did.
And you thought it was fantastic.
I did.
So the press release says that the delay stems from attempts to make further improvements to the quality of the game and provide even greater enjoyment for more customers worldwide.
Improve the quality.
Well,
I want this quality to be improved.
Kojima Productions, they're listening very closely to all feedback. I mean,
the feedback was, it's awesome. Get it to us.
At TGS, between days, like the different days of the show, they were implementing changes into the builds at the show. Like the last day at TGS, they had changed the game based on feedback from the first day.
It's like one of those game design commercials. I need these levels polished by the end of the day. I have 2 more games for you to test back there.
We should use that sound effect from the first level. I'm really glad we did this.
Hey, the graphics on level 3 need tightening up. Can you guys go do it?
Yeah, the graphics need tightening. She comes into the game testers and asks them to tighten up the graphics.
And they're like, sure.
And my parents said I'd never get anywhere with these video games.
That's people making MGS4. You're right.
All graduates of University of Phoenix.
Exactly.
Oh, dear.
There's the one where they're looking at the robot, like this fucking 1950s robot, and they're like making a cutscene. And he's like, I think he should go this way. Yeah. Like
They're making the game with controllers.
You mean that's not how they make games?
Well, I don't know.
I could have sworn.
Certainly not.
Most of the decision-making process is which direction the robot should leave frame.
How many games have we hated?
Left, it sends the wrong message.
Spin this that it doesn't suck. Spin this as it doesn't suck that they're delaying the game. It sucks.
He already spun it.
Your spin is not successful. Your spin is already
I want
away.
an unfinished game that'll get a lower score.
It's not.
Bring it to me now.
It's not going to be unfinished. This sucks for PS3 owners.
If he's
for
saying
everybody,
they're doing
sucks.
tweaks to the build at TGS, that sounds pretty unfinished.
I think that we're to a point that they're getting to that ultimate perfectionist where sometimes you have to just go with it, right? I mean, if it already was great, everybody who came away from that demo fucking loved it.
I mean,
everybody.
Would I rather have a perfect MGS4 in March? Yes. Is it upsetting? Slightly. Is it the end of the world? No. Am I mad at Kojima? No.
I'm not mad at them. I think it also sucks. Because every delay, every extension, doesn't that make it closer for when the 360 version will be to when the PS3? You don't think so?
It's my understanding that if there was such a deal in place for an exclusivity window, much like
that it would just extend off the end. So it just makes it even further away for 360 owners
and,
if they're not going to get a PS3.
And I'd say prepare yourself for more delays, not on Metal Gear, but for other games that you think might be coming earlier in the year. Some of those might get pushed back as well.
Well, that happens every year. That's big surprise. You have something in mind that you think is going to get delayed?
Grand Theft Auto 4.
I would think that would get delayed.
I mean, put yourself in the shoes of a guy who only has a PS3. And then he sees this news. He's not at all happy that.
Dude.
He's not happy for you that Super Mario Galaxy is so good.
He's not happy with a lot of his decision making, I think.
Well, but one thing this may do is they had said they didn't want to distribute the demo for free, but I think this might change their mind. As like an apology, like, oh, here's the demo. And
that would be that would be awesome.
Just saying, it'd be a nice apology.
It would be a nice apology. Are you ready? Another game coming sometime next year, which you could bet will probably get maybe another delay, would be Smash Brothers Brawl. One thing
they keep adding stuff to it.
Right, and so the latest thing they added is really cool. You're going to be able to make your own levels.
I look forward to fighting you on a giant dick. I mean, really.
I think there's going to be a lot of variations of a giant dick being made around the world.
Surprised that Shane's mine immediately went to dick.
Everyone's like,
everyone.
Come
I
on.
guarantee you 90% of the people who turn that on are like, oh, man, now I'm going to have to play my friends on a giant dick.
You can make a beautiful vagine.
That's true. You could make a nice vagina.
Yeah, you see? You don't have to always go straight to the
cock. It's a little more complicated to make one,
How about a couple of big giant breasts?
I've never looked at one when I wasn't drunk. You know what I mean? It's like...
There's a lot of pieces in there.
Seriously, there's some parts.
Moving
stuff
parts.
You can mess with, stuff that you can't.
You don't think there's a million safeguards in this, though, where it's going to be...
As soon as you start drawing a dick that explodes, it's like, what?
Your Wiimote turns off. Anyway, so Smash Brothers Dojo got the scoop on this. You'll be able to place pieces on a grid. You'll be able to choose a size, background, and music. So basically, you'll be able to do some basic layout, shape, size, formation, all that kind of
stuff.
Girth, yes. You'll be able to improve the length and girth herbally. Anyway.
And then tighten up the graphics.
Tighten up the graphics.
Those really work. I've seen commercials for those.
Levitra?
Where they go up to the guys on the street and they're like, so like, have you heard about this herbal cream? And he's like, oh yeah, I totally use that stuff. And that's what a crazy coincidence. So did it work? He's like,
it increased my...
Things get bigger.
Sean, maybe I heard it increased your confidence.
It certainly did.
You're now the most confident guy on the block.
At the Greek showers.
Of course, they're also bringing in the internet part by having a daily new level that's going to download to your Wii, and then the next day...
Is that level culled from user submitted?
Yes.
The dick of the day.
So you'll be able to submit one level per day to Nintendo. The part they didn't talk about was who's going to be selecting the levels. I mean, obviously, we'd hope that it was someone real selecting them and not just a random. I
hope it's a random because you don't know what the fuck you're going to get.
That would be awesome.
So anyway, you get a new level to fuck around with every day. That's kind of cool.
But I want to get paid. If I spend a day building the perfect bullet bill dick, I got to get paid.
I think this is a big headache for Nintendo because obviously they're going to have to filter through these levels that are submitted, and I think a big chunk of them are going to be inappropriate, and there's no way they're going to push an inappropriate level out to millions of children.
Yeah. You don't think so?
No.
Someone's going to come up with the Chowaniki level?
I mean, maybe very subtle.
You
might make some very subtle, visual things that at first you can't tell you're looking at like a vulva,
right.
But like after a minute you're like, oh yeah.
This works on 2 levels. Mom walks in and sees, she's like, oh my.
Right.
I'm going to play this game.
But it also creates like a really good choke point for like strategic battles.
Shit, he's in the urethra. Urethra. Is it urethra or urethra?
Urethra, I think.
Oh, okay.
You're mixing Aretha Franklin and urethra up.
Oh my God, he came through the vas deferens.
I knew we were going to say vas deferens in this podcast. I said that earlier.
Right, of course you did.
You get a nickel every time someone says it.
Oh, okay. So Mark Rain once again gets into our news segment because...
You talked to Mark Rain last night?
I did not. I didn't go to the thing last night.
I saw our good buddy Mark Rain last night.
Did you? So he probably not very happy.
I also hung out with Reggie yesterday. I forgot to mention that.
Oh.
Reggie and I talked about Mario.
And?
He loves it too. Big surprise!
I'm stunned.
Also likes the Phantom Hourglass.
I'm more shocked, of course. I don't know. Was Mark in a good mood? Because
he was.
Apparently they're going to have to go to court over the Silicon Knights thing. They had entered a motion.
I kind of brought that up, and he didn't think that was that funny.
Surprise! They had brought up a motion to actually have the whole thing dismissed. The entire set of charges, like Dennis, sorry, screw you. We want the whole thing dismissed. This feud is actually pretty. It's going to get ugly. I think
this feud is going to get very ugly, and
hope it's televised.
It has intense ramifications for our industry.
It does.
Broad-reaching implications.
Tim Sweeney issued a statement. He said that I understand Silicon Knights has admitted to using part or all of the Unreal Engine 3 to create Silicon Knights engine, from which it's creating its second game. And Mark expanded on that by saying, I never encouraged or expected Silicon Knights to sign a publishing agreement for a second game without also paying Epic's license fee. So I think you can see right around the corner, Epic's going to go after Silicon Knights for more money,
right.
not just for using Unreal Engine without licensing, but now for using it for their next game.
Well, Silicon Knights says that their code has no part of Unreal Engine anymore. It's all from the ground up. They threw everything out. And, I think there's another quote where Mark was like, oh, we expected that this would not be dismissed. Well, why'd you try to get dismissed if you thought of it, if you expected it not to be dismissed?
The American legal system is going to make a fucking mess out of this, because trying to figure out whether or not technical pieces of code are in the game that are shared or not shared, with the way our jury selection system works is the jurors are going to be like, oh, you're smart. Strike. You're smart. Strike. It's going to be a bunch of people who are just everyday folks looking at lines of code.
Well, we can't prepare to know the whole situation, but
no,
I'm just saying, when they start calling people, and there are lots of developers out there who have something to say about this, and most of them probably, from what I've heard, aren't exactly on Epic's side here.
No, probably not.
So I think mounting evidence.
Well, and the reason they're not going to be is Epic's in a very tough situation. They're the first guys with a high-tech engine for the PS3, which has been a nightmare for many teams to work on. And there's a lot of teams that have had games delayed, that have their publishers yelling at them because of the engine that they chose to use.
I mean, it's up to Epic to prove that they had not ever said that they were going to finish this engine, and they had never promised their licensees that they were going to deliver this engine. And something tells me that they did promise those.
I'm betting the contracts do actually say it.
Yeah, like we'll see how this.
We're going to give you a piece of software that might work.
We'll see how this turns out, but just like from a surface standpoint, I think it looks like Silicon Knights has a case here.
I think it does too, and I think what will happen ultimately is as it gets down the road, when that scale starts to tip, there'll be settlement.
I have a point here I'd like to make. Anyone who's ever sued anyone is a pussy.
I know you're a big expert on frivolous lawsuits, but this lawsuit isn't exactly.
Exactly.
This isn't
frivolous.
A hot coffee on your vagina.
But
you're a regular Doug Llewellyn.
Call them up and say fix the engine rather than take them to court.
I wish this could just be on Judge Judy. Now that would
be awesome.
Cliffy B and Mark Rain on one side, Dennis Dyack on the other side.
What are you gonna do?
And then the lady whose dog ate the other guy's couch.
Yes.
Like, I want my $80.
Now
he broke the antenna off my van.
Or maybe on People's Court. I like that Judge Milian when she breaks out the Spanish, like the machine gun Spanish. Yeah. That's good times.
She keeps it real. I like when Judge Joe Brown.
The courtroom, Dennis Dyack. Dennis claims that Mark Rain did not deliver on promises in his contractual obligation on the Unreal Engine 3.
Let's watch.
Exciting times.
It's the case of the undelivered Gibbs.
Over in Malaysia, there are going to be some...
What's going on over in Malaysia?
We don't talk about Malaysia.
We have to have our anti-piracy. We have to have our anti-piracy.
Is Nintendo once again fiercely protecting their intellectual property?
No, actually, now it's the ESA and the MPA spending their money to educate officials in the Malaysian government on what real software looks like.
It's not photocopied, you fucking idiot.
It's not 100 games on an N64 controller.
Why do they still have consumer markets over in Malaysia? Just give it to the bootleggers. Fucking turn it into Mad Max Island. Is Malaysia an island? Whatever Malaysia is.
Well,
it's an archipelago.
They're in Kuala Lumpur.
I remember reading a statistic a few years ago in China. It was like 3% of Chinese citizens admit to buying non-counterfeited materials. Yeah, it was like 3% admit to buying legitimate material.
The good news is that they have a very fierce name for this whole ordeal. It's called Operation Games Attack.
Whoa!
Operation Games Attack, brought to you by the ESA and MPA, teaching administrators of the Malaysian Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs how to identify ESA member company products.
I'd buy a bootleg of that game.
Operation Laser Fuckface.
So
I would have called it.
Back to the Nintendo wins. We started off with a little fail, so I'm going to bring it back this way. At the end here, Nintendo, according to iSupply, the DS and Wii gaming software amounted to $1.2 billion in the third quarter, and they are now the big player on the block as far as selling software, which is a big...
$1.2 billion?
$1.2 billion.
But about to say,
which surpasses Sony.
Right, who's at $1.1 billion.
Right. The big deal is that Nintendo is doing it with new product, with DS and Wii stuff. So their software sales are still rapidly climbing, whereas the bulk of Sony sales are still coming from PS2 and PSP stuff. So the projections for the next quarter and then, of course, the year after that is that Nintendo is going to keep gaining and widening their margin in software sales. So this is huge for them.
It's a lot of $1.50.
A lot of $1.50.
They also confirmed something that we've hinted at a bunch of times, which was that it was outside pressure that forced Sony's hand into lowering the price on the PS3 and getting the low-price PS3 out for the fall. They said EA has been losing revenue due to the meager PS3 sales, and the company has been rooting for price cuts and improvements to the console, which is why you saw it. Last but not least, Famitsu, very popular weekly Japanese video game magazine.
They gave Endless Ocean a 10.
They did.
They love to pet fish in Japan.
They ran a big survey on the holiday season for both consumers and retailers.
I found these numbers kind of surprising.
All right, so I'm going to throw some stuff out there for you guys to have fun
Not even
with.
numbers, these lists.
You can riff on whatever you want to.
I love numbers.
We'll start off with here's the top 10 products most likely to sell in Japan for a Christmas holiday season.
Okay, were they these retailers or users? Who was being polled here? Retailers?
You know what? Yoshi Sato, who did this for us from Japan, did not indicate that, but I believe it was a combined thing for these numbers because then
random.
Because then at the end,
Homeless people.
Yeah. at the end, we have retailers and consumers broken out, but I believe it's aggregate for these first few things. So the aggregate of top 10 products most likely to sell: number 1, Wii Fit.
Duh.
Mm-hmm. Number 2,
baffling.
Xbox 360 hardware.
Yeah, based on the fact that it is the lowest selling by far of all the current consoles, of course it's going to be the second best selling thing. No, what?
Where did this come from?
I mean, maybe
it's like on their wish list when they're thinking of like stuff they want. And they're
But
like,
never actually
I
buy.
don't have a 360. It'd be nice to get one. It's a present. I'm not going to buy the absurd thing.
There is a really good bundle coming to Japan where you get like a system with a hard drive and Lost Odyssey and like Viva Pinata and some other game and all this for $350. But, that'll do pretty well for Xbox 360 that week. But if anyone believes Xbox 360 is going to be the second best-selling anything in Japan, I don't know where they got that.
Yeah, I mean, I was stunned. I looked at this. I went, whoa.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Throws the whole list into question.
Yeah, it does.
3. So then it goes Wii hardware, PS3 hardware.
Dried tiger penis.
Vial of menstrual fluid got out of vending machine.
No.
That's now illegal in Japan, but 5 years ago it wasn't.
Thank God.
Well, that's where they got all the stock for the Final Fantasy potions.
Oh! I've drank a potion.
I'm not surprised.
Anyway.
Then we got some Super Mario Galaxy, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, DS Lights, Dynasty Warriors 6, and Slimline PSP.
Yeah, you're right. 360 is going to outsell all those.
Are you kidding me?
No.
360 won't even rank in. I'm sorry. 360 will not even rank in. No.
Dried tiger penis. It's not even going to get close to that. Huge numbers in the holiday season.
360.
They're like kids like, Mom, I want dried tiger penis. The ranch flavored.
It's delicacy.
I like
they have the 2-flavor one now where you can get ranch and hot buffalo together.
Yeah, it's like they got the separation in the bag.
It's like
I like
it's
the
two tastes in one.
A1 steak sauce flavored tiger penis.
Video game stuff is all pretty much predictable, except I thought it was funny that under 360, of course, you had Lost Odyssey as the first game, Ace Combat 6 as the second one. The third game, Assassin's Creed. I don't know. Assassin's Creed didn't strike me as a game that would have appeal in Japan. It seemed
Jade Raymond, the erstwhile producer of that game, she's very popular with Japanese developers. They run her picture in Famitsu. A lot of people like her because she's pretty
I
woman.
like pretty girls.
Yeah.
So now here's the part that doesn't make any sense. Finally, they broke down what consoles will be most likely to sell. So after telling us that the top 10 most products likely to sell, the number 2 thing was the Xbox 360 hardware. Retailers say that it's going to be DS, Wii, PS2, PS3, PSP, and Xbox 360 at the very bottom of the list.
Yeah, I think the retailers know what's going on, and whatever little kid at the playground they asked for that original list.
However, no, consumers ranked 360 above PS3.
This is above Wii and DS?
No, Wii and DS first. Wii, DS, and then.
I mean, it is possible the Lost Odyssey could be big.
I don't know.
We'll see.
20 minutes worth of video? I mean, 20% of it worth, or not, 20 hours. 20 hours of 40 hours being video.
Plus 9 hours of...
That's my dream game.
Plus 9 hours of reading short stories.
Oh.
I did that in Oblivion.
Yeah, you'd pick up those books.
I think there could be like a special Sean Baby Lost Odyssey review that would be.
I think I would fucking kill myself. That's where you'd see me crack.
I
I can't handle like tutorials and fucking cutscenes and.
What about reading pages and pages of stories?
No, I could do that with a book, but like once it's on the TV, it makes me so pissed.
So before we wrap this thing up, Carrot Top. Definitely better than Gallagher.
Are you on crack?
Definitely better for prop. I mean, the whole debate came when we started this off, and Sean Baby walked in with a bag full of props, right?
Right.
Bag full of props, Carrot Top better than Gallagher.
Have you ever seen Gallagher stand up from the 70s?
Yes, on tape. It never changed. It was always the same thing.
Why do you drive in a parkway and park in a driveway?
Oh, that's a class. I love that one.
That's a good one.
It like attacks you on an observational level, on a linguistics level, and then he explodes a watermelon, gets you in a primal level.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I want to see more exploding watermelons.
Garnet, really, you're a little, frankly, very old to be a Carrot Top fan. Carrot Top is popular with like.
Carrot Top is ripped. Carrot Top is scary.
He is.
Carrot Top is like evolved
Jacked.
into another life form.
He's very jacked.
He's pretty funny, dude.
He's like a ape made of water balloons.
You know, Garnet, I know you like to take controversial opinions to be the odd man out, but like I'm seriously concerned about you as a friend if you legitimately think Carrot Top is
Carrot
funnier
Top
than
takes
Gallagher.
a bullshit pun and extends it out to like all this effort.
You'll never
and
get otherwise out of
celebration.
me. You'll never get otherwise out
Did
of
you see him
me.
in Vegas
only-
recently or something?
The only thing I laughed at Carrot Top about was earlier this year on the which roast was it? The Flavor Flav roast. I mean, he was really angry and pissed off. If you haven't seen it, it's worth watching.
Yeah, because everyone fucking hates him.
But like one of the other comedians there was like, "Oh, Carrot Top, you heard we were here to give props to Flavor Flav, so that's why he showed up." Which I thought that was really funny.
That is attacking Carrot Top with his own
His
humor.
own humor. But yeah, like Gallagher also, he has a game. Carrot Top does not have a game. And
Oh, it's a great game too.
yeah, Sean, maybe
Gallagher's Gallery.
You
We
solved
actually
it.
beat it, yeah. But the only way I think to beat it is to get to the broken screen. Like if you do well enough, it just fucking freaks out and resets.
That's how you beat it.
That's how
That
you
is the
beat
ending.
Gallagher's Gallery. I've never actually beat the game because every time I get far enough into it,
That might be the ending. It's very postmodern.
yeah, it really makes you think.
There you go. That's the show. I think we broke this show and got to the ending.
Yeah, thanks for you guys definitely made it a little lighter and more effervescent.
Thank you. That's what we do.
So there you go. If you want to catch up with us before next week, I think we're going to do a 4-minute warning soon because I know Mark wants to do a 4-minute warning.
Mark's on a journey of personal discovery.
Yeah, but I mean he's going to be around during November, so we're going to do that. So if you have some questions that you want to get out there, look for. I'm going to put a thread up. I think.
and we're this is the beginning of October, November. What is it?
Too many games.
It's November. It's too many
beginning
games.
of too many games. We're going to have to do some too many games. If you have a game that we haven't hit yet that you want us to like get in there, we'll do
Because
that.
there are over 300 games coming out this month. There are.
Wow, and most of them are just the rest of the crap.
I'll be
Unfortunately,
playing about 250 of them.
about
probably.
250 of them coming your way.
Your tax season, if you want to count, and that's what this is for you.
Oh, I'm going to be so busy.
So there you go. We'll be back next week.
Have you played Imagine Babies yet?
No.
Oh,
Imagine
okay.
Babies.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
It's Babies with a Z. It's on DS.
Sounds like a teen pregnancy. We actually need to do a Broken Pixels again soon too, because it's been a long time.
All right, there you go. For Sean Baby, Crispin,
Hi.
Shane,
Thank you.
the
Thanks
Scarnet.
for having me.
Much appreciate you
thanks
listening.
for coming on.
Oh.
Much appreciate you listening. Check back with us. We'll be back next week. Until then, you know what we say. We are out.
Wiki, wiki, woo, choo, 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 choo.
Wow.